You penned a powerful op-ed for the Post recently where you expressed dismay, maybe even disdain, for the fact that the first three indictments against Donald Trump seemed to boost the former president's favorability. My two questions. Why do you think that's the case? Why do you
I
think it's boosting favorability? And then second, you know, well, let me let you answer that one, and I'll get to the second in a minute.
Yeah, well, I'm not an expert here on this particular subject. I suppose because the former president has made a convincing argument that this is all aimed at him, and that the reason he's being prosecuted is because he's the front runner to receive the Republican nomination. But I've got news for him, and news for his supporters. He would still be investigated and subject to prosecution for the things that have happened, even if he weren't running for the office of the presidency. And there's no question in my mind that there would still be investigations, still be prosecutions, and it has so little, and certainly should have so little to do with the fact that he's a nominee for president. I promise you, Merrick Garland would wish for anything that this was not occurring during a presidential election where Donald Trump is seemingly the Republican frontrunner for president, because it does give people an opportunity, including former President Trump, to say this is all about politics. This is all about to derail my chances for the White House. Wish that weren't so. I wish this investigation prosecution wasn't occurring during presidential election season, but it is what it is. And you move forward with the prosecution when you're ready to prosecute the case. And that's what's going on here. Now, I have heard, and I wrote about this, I've heard from a number of Republican friends and colleagues, people that I respect and admire, who've expressed, they've sort of said, it does look like it's favored in favor of Democrats and against Republicans. And that bothers me because we need to, we need to have confidence in our judicial system and our criminal justice system. And even when people that should know better start questioning whether, is there favoritism here? Well, that's something that to me is very, very troublesome. And that's why we need to speak out and try to reassure everyone that this is the right thing to do, and let the process work, and then we can make an evaluation as to whether or not they work the way that it should.